the service, and I hit the History International channel or one of those channels, and there was a story of Mary Mother. What are the chances? It's like finding my daughter's birthday card the day people are wishing her happy birthday and it's not her birthday. So my friend Mary had her mother die when she was young, and Mary was distraught. And she said to Mary, she was close to Mary, her mother loved Mary as well. And again, you don't need to be Jewish or Catholic to love Mary. Anybody can love Mary. Just like you can love any person, you can love any personality aspect of God. And she said to Mary, please just give me some kind of sign that my mother's okay. Because she was raised Catholic. Her father was Jewish, her mother was Catholic, she was raised in the Catholic Church. Please give me some kind of sign. And she was looking around the funeral home, and she was at the funeral site, and she took some dead roses that had been there for like 4 days, and somebody had not put water in them. She took them home and stuck them in a vase. No water, by the way. And the next morning she woke up to this wonderful fragrance, and the roses were in full bloom. What are the chances? Dead roses coming back to life when you do a prayer to Mary, whose specific flower emblem is roses. That's why the 5-pointed star and the 5-pointed rose is called the Rose of Mary. And Magdalene will also answer to the roses as well. So if you think that life is just a coincidence, I got news for you. We are walking amongst the angels. They are walking amongst us. We are walking amongst spirits who love us and check in on us every now and then. And just because they're not there physically for you to see doesn't mean you can't see them. Sometimes you catch a picture of them out of the side of your eye, the corner of your eye. Or sometimes you smell a perfume that maybe your mother or your aunt wore. Or you see a color that was their favorite color. Some kind of sign will come to you. And just be grateful. And you may want to jot it down on your calendar so you see how many times a month or a year it actually happens. Just like a lot of people are thinking of a particular person and they find a shiny copper penny. And how many shiny copper pennies are on your sidewalk or in your parking lot? And that has happened to me a lot, especially it's usually a dime. Now, I don't know what the difference is, except I like the dime better than the penny. I'll take the penny. But usually for me, it is a dime. And one day I was particularly depressed. I was a kid and I was walking home from church. I had gone to church and I was really angry because I thought it was the pastor of the church screaming at the top of his lungs. And I had said to my father a year or two earlier that he was going to die. Something was going to explode in his head. And I didn't know what a stroke was all about. And he said, what do you mean? I said, something's going to explode in his head. That's how he's going to die. And by the way, I am psychic, so everybody's psychic. It's your soul's mind. Some people have a better grasp of it than others. And so my father knew that I was psychic because I had already told him about the fairies dancing in the garden. And he didn't see them, but he would feel them tickling his arm as he was out there in the garden planting flowers, and he had his tomatoes and his cucumbers and stuff. So I was particularly depressed, and I had to stop off at the supermarket to pick up something, and I had forgotten to take the money. What happened from the church to the store, which was about 100 yards away, was that somebody obviously had either a hole in their pocket or angels were dropping change, because I walked into that store with $3 and I had to bring home a quart of milk, and it didn't cost $3. That has never happened since. And it did happen that day when I came out of the church furious and angry because I don't want to be screamed at. I didn't go to church to be screamed at. I went there to learn something. And I thought he was way out of line, and I was looking for some kind of answers or acknowledgement that I was alive and that I meant something in the universe. And I looked down, and there was shiny change. And I went picking it up like birds after Hansel and Gretel's little breadcrumbs. And I got to the store, I had the money, and I had a profit of like $1, $2.50. But it was the universe letting me know that I was not alone and that it was definitely listening. So when you think you're all alone and lost, trust me, you're not. All of us go through that. That's part of the dark night of the soul, seeing and experiencing the light. We all must be alone to gather our thoughts together. People who are in constant noise pollution, cell phones, twittering, faxing, calling, computer, anything, turn it all off for a while and go quietly into a corner and think for yourself. If you want to meditate, great. Prayer is when you talk to God. Meditation is when God talks to you. You may not get an answer at that moment, but you will get an answer usually within 3 days or by the end of the week. Sometimes it takes a little while to put you in the right place at the right time with the right circumstances. So with this Higgs boson God particle that was recently discovered, that is proving to the scientists that there is an intelligence out there, regardless of what you want to call it. Is this going to upset Western religions? Yes. Is it going to upset Eastern religions? No. They knew about it all along. That's part of what they teach, that there is an intelligent life force, that there is something that is in everything that we are and we see and we do and we participate in, and the planet we walk on, the solar system and the galaxies that we're in, and the entire universe. So it's people who want you to think God's an old guy in a robe who are much distressed and very unhappy, because now where do they go? Just like the Catholic Church having difficulties, which I forgot to tell a caller on our program last week, that the Catholic Church is in a quandary. And so are the Jews, except they talk about Shekinah, which is their name for the female energy of God. The Catholic Church wants you to believe that life is created with a father and a son basically having intercourse, and a ghost telling everybody about it. The Trinity is not the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. I am promising you on my soul. The Trinity is the Father, the Mother, and the Child. That would be the Higgs boson particles of the Father and the Mother creating the child, which is the manifestation. So there is your science and your spirituality coming together right in front of you in that giant collider in CERN. So if you want to know how the universe works, it's thought, that's intelligent thought, putting that thought into action. And it takes the male and the female energy. Whatever they call it on other planets, it's the duality of the God force. It's the duality. It's the seed, it's the place to put the seed, and then what comes out of the place they have put the seed and the sperm together. The thought creates the action. And that's why everybody in the scientific community is so excited. People in the male-oriented, God's an old guy in a robe religions are tearing their hair out. Because how do they explain? Gosh, we've been wrong. Gosh, we've been lying to you. And this is also the problem with the homosexuality question. How can the Catholic Church hate homosexuality when basically that's what they're teaching? So we're going to pick up on this hot little thought when we come right back from our break. Stay with us. It's Linda Bennett, Metaphysically Speaking.